This is our presentation on Ed Ford and the responsible thinking process. The responsible thinking process, or RTP, was developed by Ed Ford. Ed Ford has been involved in many facets of psychology. He taught high school for several years before earning a master's of social work and providing private counseling. In addition, he has been a consultant and teacher for numerous schools, hospitals specializing in mental illness, and other human resource facilities. He has a long history of experience as a successful counselor, and he developed this program out of experience with human affairs, not abstract theories. Ed Ford wanted to teach students how to think for themselves. The responsible thinking process, or RTP, teaches children to reflect within themselves and to identify what it is they want to accomplish. The purpose of this process is to cultivate respect for oneself and others, combined with a strong sense of responsibility for one's actions. RTP is a school discipline process that trains educators how to teach students to take responsibility for themselves by learning to think on their own, to respect the rights of others, to make effective plans, and to build self-confidence. The process is based on perceptual control theory, or PCT. RTP is the way you create the environment. PCT is why you implement it the way you do. Discipline is teaching children to respect the rights of others through responsible thinking by learning to obey the rules. The fundamental rule of RTP is we do not violate the rights of others. Teachers have the right to teach, and students have the right to learn in a safe environment. The process involves asking questions that ask the students to think and assess, such as, what are you doing? This question should be asked first. The student needs to become aware of their actions. What are the rules? You have to link their behavior to the rules. What happens when you break the rules? They can then reflect on the consequences of breaking the rules. Is this what you want to happen? This question asks them to decide how they want to live their life. Where do you want to be, or what do you want to do now? This brings closure to what they really want. What will happen if you disrupt again? This should always be asked, not as a threat or warning, but as something the student must consider in terms of how they will lose rights and privileges if they violate the rights of others. Some of the strengths are that RTP is an alternative to detention. Detention means isolation and an absence of choice. RTP places the responsibility of actions and choices on the student. Students make a choice to write a plan of how they will change their behavior to accomplish what they want without infringing on others. RTP removes the child from the classroom so that the disruption to other students is minimized. RTP allows for reconciliation when the student is ready. The student is allowed to return to the classroom when he or she has thoughtfully planned an alternative to disruptive behavior. RTP allows for lasting change to take place in individuals. It teaches students ways to deal with their own internal conflict and make goals or plans to respect others. Teachers and administrators from schools implementing this process show strong support. Some weaknesses may include teachers and administrators must be willing to give up some of their sense of control over students. Ford does not believe it is possible for one person to control another, and not all children will be willing to engage in this process. Our analysis from Christian worldview is that RTP is quite compatible with Christianity. God created all men and women with choices. God gave Adam and Eve a choice in the Garden of Eden. After they sinned, he questioned their choices. Where are you? Why are you hiding? And also, no one is too far from God's grace. Redemption is available for those who choose it. In Romans 5:10 and 11, we read, "For if, when we were God's enemies, we were reconciled to him through the death of his Son, how much more, having been reconciled, shall we be saved through his life? Not only is this so, but we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received reconciliation." With RTP, the goal is for students to resolve their issue and plan to act in ways that will get them what they want without violating the rights of others. God gave us the 10 Commandments as rules for godly living. Choosing to follow his laws will give us freedom to live. Galatians 5:13 says, "For you are called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." Our freedom does not give us permission to sin, but to serve. RTP sets boundaries from which students can learn to serve one another by exhibiting responsible behavior. And these are our references. Thank you.